Butterflies fill my spine, I feel myself getting hot again. Nerves rushing through my brain, yeah, they can't hear fire from the trees. You're standing by his side, red drops burning down your face. You're real close now, baby. Holy fuck, I feel it with you. I lose self-control. Now I found that you're not one to hear me now. You got me on my knees begging for your lady. And like a fool to stand around and let you blame me. And I'm riding in the sky to the heavens like an
Hi, my name is Leo Connors and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, I have for my special guest, professional wrestler, Mani Ariez, right?
Yes, sir.
The Focus Pro Champion.
Yes, sir.
The APW, half of the APW
One half, yeah.
tag team, along with Kid V.
Yes, sir.
So how are you?
Man, I feel good, dude. I'm just enjoying the ride, enjoying the new year. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just doing things, accomplishing other things, and just staying focused on the goals and just tunnel vision. You know.
Nice.
How's everything with you, bro?
Good. Kid, no complaints, man.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear it anyways. You know what I mean? But no, really, no complaints. I love doing the show, and I think I'm going to continue to do it till at least 500.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's got to have a goal.
How many episodes you got now?
This is 365.
Wow.
So I still got 135
Let's
to
go,
go.
baby. Let's
You know what I
go.
mean? Who knows? I can change my mind. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I know for a fact 500 at least.
Yeah.
So.
Heck yeah.
All right, so we got a lot of fan questions. Let's get right into it. Andy Miller wants to know, what do you prefer, being a singles or a tag team?
That's a tough question, man. I actually saw that one too. It's tough. You know, realistically, I feel maybe singles in a sense of just like, it's easier if, like, without pulling the curtain back too much, like, it's easier to be a ring general and kind of keep things in motion comparatively. Like, I feel like that's been the biggest issue for Kid and I when we're in tag teams. If we're working teams that aren't like established teams,
Right.
that don't, you know, that have been teaming with each other for only like a couple months or whatever, it's really hard to be like, tag team wrestling is really complex.
Yeah, right.
So it's just like, it's hard to gain control of everything. You need all those moving parts. How am I going to communicate this if
Right.
this is going off here? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in a sense, I enjoy when it comes to like the psychology aspect of things, probably singles wrestling. But like when we're trying to tell a story, tag team wrestling is it for me. I don't know if that answers your question, but it's a little bit of both, but more on the singles end for sure.
All right, thank you, Andy, for that question. He has a couple more, though.
Right.
What are your goals for 2025 as a wrestler?
Man, 2025 as a wrestler, dude, it's just branching out of New England.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to take things to that next level. Like year one was, you know, processing everything, taking everything. Year two was applying everything that we learned, and then year three, which is coming up in just a couple months for me, it's now let's fly out. Let's go be here. Let's go be there. Let's network there. Like we just came back from Jersey this past weekend, you know, and that's something else that we get to check off, you know.
Right.
So it's just like putting myself out there more because at the end of the day, you know, WWE is doing big things. We all know that.
With the ID program.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like right now in the independent scene, it's really like if you got goals to like get there, it's as attainable as ever right now.
Right.
And I'm just trying to do that. I'm trying to do whatever I can to turn some heads. You know what I'm saying? So that's just really it.
All right. That's a great answer, though. And his last question is, who has been your toughest opponent that you have wrestled?
Oh, toughest opponent that I've wrestled.
Yeah.
I
I guess he's not asking if you got any street fights in you.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Or anything, but I don't know.
Man, that's
Thanks, Andy.
Toughest opponent I've wrestled. That's tough because it's like,
Well, you got tag teams and
yeah,
singles. I
yeah,
mean, that definitely it.
And when we're
That's
talking about tough, are we talking about like, beating me up tough or?
Well, why don't Andy, I'm going to pick one. Yeah, just roughest. Like,
Roughest?
Yeah, man. Like, that guy's going to punch you in the face and you're not going to like it.
Oh, man, Congo, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love Congo. Love you, Congo. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, he'll hit you.
Yeah.
And it's not like hard or anything, but like, it's just snow where it's like, if you ain't paying attention, bro, you're going to feel that one. You're going to be like, God damn, okay, shoot. But I would say Congo definitely my toughest opponent, man. I love that man, bro. He's the reason why Kid and I are really out here doing our thing, you know?
That's pretty awesome, man. Yeah, definitely. All right, Corey Fisher wants to know 2 questions. When it's time to hang up the boots, what's the legacy you want to leave behind?
Bro, I just started, fam. You already talking about hanging up the boots. But anyways, to answer Corey's question.
You know Corey?
Yeah.
See, I don't know Corey. Thanks for the questions, Corey.
Yeah. I just want everybody to know that I want my legacy to be, when you think or say my name, that bro is a hardworking dude. He was humble. He was fair. And, he worked hard.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 things that I care about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want my legacy to be.
There you go. Great answer. And the second part is, who is the person you are most looking forward to facing at this point in your career? So do you have anybody that you're looking to fight, that's going to challenge you for the Focus Pro title? Is there anybody, maybe?
Shoot, man, I could put a couple names out there. We could start speaking stuff into existence. One big name for me that I've tried to make known. I mean, if he's not known already, if he doesn't know,
that you are a wrestler.
Yeah. Dijak is big for me. I want Dijak really bad.
Yeah.
For me personally, just because not only am I a fan of Dijak,
right,
but like the way that I approach my training, how I'm gonna approach my wrestling career, right, he was at a level or was at the place that I want to be at.
Right.
So it's like, I know in order for me to be the wrestler that place would even want, or to know for myself if I can hang with the likes of that way I know if I could hang with someone of the likes of Dijak, I'll be able to hold it down in WWE. And if not, then it's, all right, I slacked here, I struggled here. Now I'm gonna point out things that could have helped me in that match, So Dijak is huge for me. He's one of them for sure. Bufa, and that's actually happening January 11th at Focus Pro, so that's actually getting checked off. Bufa's big for me too. Yep. Who else? We got Channing Thomas, bro. I want him. I still ain't get my match with Gal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still want that match with him.
He's an impressive kid, dude.
I know, dude.
He really is.
I was here when he's I started at Netball when he came to the States.
Right.
So I saw when he first came to the States to now where he's at, bro. It's kind of nutty. So it's just like he's one of the dudes for sure that are on my list that I haven't gotten to tussle with right quick. But yeah, those are like a few right off rip because it's always changing.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Changing. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Jerry Lane, good friend of the show, good friend of mine.
Hell yeah.
Big fan of yours. Congrats on becoming the Focus Pro Wrestling Champion. I've enjoyed seeing you wrestle there as well as APW.
Oh yeah.
Since you and Kid V dropped the Chaotic Wrestling Tag Team titles to the Monarchy, do you plan on going after them again? Do you want to challenge for singles gold? Or do you feel you've accomplished what you set out to do in Chaotic? Meaning, is he done with Chaotic? I would imagine he's just wondering.
Great
Jerry,
question.
It is a great question.
You.
Thanks, Jerry.
Of course. If you saw that match the night that we lost our titles, you see that we didn't get pinned for it.
Oh, it was a 3-way?
I think it was a fatal 4-way tag. Yeah. We didn't get pinned for it. So yeah, there's still a little bit of injustice for us there, unfinished business there for sure, because we had just started scratching the surface at Chaotic.
Right.
So when the time, or if the time comes that we go back, we still got full eyes and ears on the tag team division on making that our division. And then if it branches from there, then it branches from there. But I don't think that'll be the last time neighborhood be popping up over in Chaotic for sure.
Okay. And who ended up winning that shit? The
Monarchy did that night. Yep. And we were running like we ran the whole summer with them. It was back and forth with us and them, and grateful for that opportunity. But there's still some unsettled business here.
Right. Well, I think we're going to get into that situation a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Jerry also says, what other promotions would you like to work for if that you haven't yet?
So there's a few on my list right now. Locally here in the New England area, there's two. It's Limitless Wrestling for sure.
Yep.
And Wrestling Open. Or Beyond Wrestling.
Yep.
So those are the two this year that we hope to get on and try to wrestle for it. But then when we're talking outside of New England, definitely popping back at the Monster Factory after our debut over there, and then also Reality of Wrestling. That's another one that we've been trying to set our schedules with to spend some time out in Houston to do so. Last couple years hasn't been able to, but this year I feel like it's going to be a little more doable.
Nice. Okay. And Casey Campbell, what are your goals for 2025?
I mean, we pretty much covered that earlier, but yeah, it's just to get up out of New England, expand the brand, and just keep learning and all that stuff, networking, baby. That's all
right. Thanks, Casey. And Dan Ruckus wants to know, what is the breakfast of a champion?
It's a good question, man. I tell you if I ate breakfast.
It is the most important meal of the day.
I guess, a lot of people say that, bro.
Man.
A lot of people say that, but I'm not most people.
Yeah, I hear. Well, I get to work at 6:30 in the morning, so I'm at my desk having breakfast.
Yeah.
Just before the kids come into the school.
No, for sure. A nice coffee for me, and if I'm going to eat, it'll be a nice plain bagel with cheese. And if it's a show week, I'm keeping it light. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
I don't go crazy on it.
All right, Dan's got a couple more. Are you planning to travel at all during 2025? You must have just heard him say that he's going to be planning to going back down to the Monster Factory. Where is that again?
Yeah, New Jersey, Paulsboro, New Jersey, man. Over there, that was a great experience.
Yeah.
We've gone to New Jersey a few times, but we've never gone to wrestle. Right. We did the CZW compound there a couple years back, but we didn't wrestle. So now we got to wrestle, so we get to check off Jersey.
No, that's great. They were saying Danny Cage down there and Missy Sampson. That's a pretty good combination right there, man, for wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
It really is. And I'm sure there's more.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I guarantee it's not just the two of them.
No.
And the last one for Dan is, what has been your favorite venue to fight so far? Wrestle, fight. Same thing.
Easy, hands down, man. The Hamburg Fields House in Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
For sure.
Where they used to have WWF TV, man.
Yep. That was the same arena that Jimmy Snuka got cracked with the coconut. That was
Roddy Piper, 1983 or something like that, right? Was it 83?
I believe so. I don't quote me on that.
It might have been the year I graduated from high school.
That's
1983.
Wild. That's wild.
That'll be 60.
Yeah,
in
dude.
15 days.
That's crazy. Congrats, dude.
Thanks, man.
You look good, dude. 60 for sure.
Thanks.
So yeah, that venue is my favorite because of how historic it is to the business.
Yeah, for sure.
And then at the time, they just announced that they're no longer. They were closing it down.
Yeah.
But now it's not being closed down no more. So I got to get eliminated by Super Crazy in that venue.
Wow,
so,
that's awesome, man.
Down.
That's very cool. All right, Jason Gleitz.
Yep.
That's Gleitz, right?
Yeah.
What tag teams worldwide would the neighborhood like to work with? God, there's so many, dude. I'm sure you got a couple.
Can I just lean forward real quick? Can I do this whole thing? Hey, your Hardys.
Hardys.
That's I know where they're at right now in their career. You know they're gonna be wrapping it up in the next couple years, and they're the biggest inspiration for Kid and I. And then just as Jeff Hardy was big for me, he was one of my biggest inspirations. Right. So if we talking worldwide, they're number one on that list.
It's doable.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
It is.
I'm hoping.
It's doable.
You know, so definitely the Hardys is number one. Then you got like other teams, you know, around just locally. I don't think Waves and Curls in the neighborhood have, like, we've wrestled, but this
Right.
was when we were like fresh, new tag
Okay.
team. Now we're more experienced. So I would love to see what we could come up with now.
They are a great tag team in their own right. Waves and Curls,
100%.
man.
I think they bring really good energy. We bring really good energy as
Yeah,
well.
I agree.
I think that'll be fun. When we talking worldwide, FTR, right? We talking about teams like that. If we talking locally, it's hard because there's not a lot of local teams, right? You can never really pick a
Yeah.
few like right off there. But number one, also honestly, locally is Miracle Generation. We've crossed paths, but not crossed paths, and we're
Really?
at pro. Yeah, you know, as our alter egos.
Yeah.
And even then, I was hurt, so it wasn't Kid and I in there. So Miracle Generation versus the Neighborhood is a match that needs to happen. I think it
Right.
will happen this year for sure.
You said that Beyond is a place you'd like to go. Now, that's a
Exactly.
great place to go, man. Alec Price got in there. You know how he got in there? Showed up every weeknight that they had a show, man. He kept going and going and going and helping out and helping out. And all of a sudden, I'm there one night, and I'm like, wow, Alec ain't here. I said, I hope he's going to wrestle. He came out, and he was the spotlight match, man. It was, you know, so I could see it happening.
Yeah.
Dude. They have their eye on good talent in New England.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah,
so, believe me, you could be there quicker than you even think.
No, yeah, 100%.
All right, so here we go with the chaotic types questions. How did you first hear that Chase was thinking about putting the titles on you?
Oh man, that's a good story. I believe it was either a kid's off camera right here. Was it Day? Is he back here?
I think
Is
he's
he
in
back
the
there?
control room. I think.
Oh man, it was either day of or the day before. And all right, it was the day of actually.
Really?
Yeah, so the night before, kid broke his nose, and we had chaotic the next night, and I messaged him and I'm like, hey, you know, we may have to fall back because, you know, kid broke his nose. I didn't hear anything. I wake up in the morning to a message from Scott Gerwin saying, congrats guys, make us proud. And I'm like,
Nice.
wait, what?
That's awesome.
So I run into kid's room. I'm like, yo, this is the message I got. I still don't know what's happening right now.
Right.
We'll wait. We get to the venue. Chase pulls us into the room, and he lets us know that night. It was such a surreal experience for Kid and I. We both, again, it was a place where we both started.
Right.
And we both had goals like going to Chaotic was year 5. That's where we planned it. That's
Right.
where we positioned it, and it happened in year 2 for us. Let alone even being able to be honored with that opportunity, you know. So that was real cool. I'll never forget that. It was crazy.
That's pretty awesome. All right. And that, like I said, that had to be a big deal for you in your career, knowing, like you said, that you had a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
To get it done in 2, it's reasonable.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean? All this hard work, man, you know?
Yeah.
It's coming, and it's still gonna come.
Yeah,
I
no, for
guarantee
sure.
it's gonna come.
For sure.
You know? So, all right, so Steph Gleason wants to know, when did you decide you wanted to pursue pro wrestling as a career?
I feel like low-key, I've always known it or felt it.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, I would always be like, yeah, I want to be a pro wrestler when I grow up, you know? Like, but then I thought it being so like out of the box, like how you would say, I want to be an astronaut or something. Like it was in that same likeness of like out of the box, probably won't get it type of dream. And I've touched base on it before, but like it was after COVID that I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this because it's now or never type deal.
Right.
And that's when I decided, once I started picking it up, and once I started being like, okay, there's something here, and guys were telling me there's something here, and then maybe the first 6 months of being on live shows, I really looked at it and was like, damn, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this like for real, for real.
It takes some people quicker to get to points too, and you know what I mean. Like especially the work you put in, you're gonna continue to grow and grow, and you know what I mean. You know that.
No, yeah, and I treat everything like business, you know. So like I was pursuing music, and while I was pursuing music as, all right, how's this gonna make me money?
Right.
How am I going to make this something that I could? I don't have to go and clock into a boss. I am the boss. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm always thinking like that if I'm trying to pursue anything creative. So.
Well, you said music. Do you know Frank Bones, the wrestler Frank Bones?
Yes.
He loves to. He raps, doesn't he? I think Frank raps.
Yeah. Oh, snap.
He loves doing. He's had shows and everything. Him and Grayson Flax. You know Grayson?
No, I've not heard of Grayson, but yo, that's dope. I might have to get with him.
There you go. All right, Steph Gleason has one more.
Yeah.
What do you feel is the most challenging aspect of being a wrestler? That is a really good question.
Yeah, hands down is just balance.
Yeah.
That's the challengest thing, man, because it's like you can't slack too much because then it starts affecting your game, right? So like you could tell when someone stopped training,
right,
and they're going out there wrestling. So it's like you have to be constantly training, and then on top of that, just to hold your day-to-day life, you got to be at that 9 to 5 for half that day during the week, and then on top of, you know, probably going to that show and doing ring crew. And so then that means you're there from, you know, whatever time till late, and then you're getting home mad late. For some people, you know, they got to balance that with family, you know.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is. You know, this past year I had the 1-year-old, you know, she just turned 1. So it's just like, that must have been really hard for my girl, you know, and making sure that my girl still feels sane enough to be like doing what she can do. You know?
Yeah. So you can do your thing.
Exactly.
I hear you.
So it's being able
That's
to
love.
Yeah, you know, straight up.
It is. I hear you. It is.
And it's being able to give her that respect and time back too. You know, so it's just like I struggled hard with that, but also like oddly, wrestling has helped me manage it.
That's good.
Because I love wrestling so much that I don't want it to go away. So if I'm gonna keep wrestling, I got to do whatever I got to do to keep wrestling.
Right.
You know. So I definitely think it's just balancing everything. You know, you can only do so much. So yeah, I think that's been the hardest challenge.
Okay. All right. And Andrew Crane wants to know if Yes Sir didn't take off the way it did you have any ideas that you really wanted to get it over with the crowd? If yes.
So like my catchphrase, the catchphrase. So before I start every match, I'm like, hold it down, let me get a yes sir, and then the crowd gives me a yes sir. Honestly, I did have, I think it was because it was the main shooter at the time. So it's the main shooter shot don't miss, or the main shooter shot's always on point. That was one of the things I wanted to start trying to get over. But then, like, when I thought about it, that's when Melo started being on TV, and then they started saying Melo don't miss. So then I'm like, damn, if I'm out here saying, you know, the shooter don't miss, I don't want them to be thinking I'm trying to bite off of what's on TV.
Right. No, I hear that so hard, man. You can have it first, but they start doing it publicly. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
it was theirs first though.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, when I thought about it,
better off saying that anyway.
Yeah. You know, when I thought about it, it wasn't being used on TV.
Right.
And then
all of a sudden,
I wasn't even on shows then, you know what I'm saying? I'm just game planning, pre-game planning. So then when I was on shows, it was already being used. And then the yes sir thing happened by accident. So then it was just like, okay, we'll go along with it. And I'm glad I did yes sir instead, dude.
Well, I just wanted, but you know, like I haven't seen you work in a couple of years, right? Since APW, probably when my meatball subs were over.
That's nutty.
Being chanted at the, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah. That's
so
crazy.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So I just don't want like the fans think that I'm like on top of every.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? I can only read what I read. You know what I mean? I'm not at every show.
Right.
All right. Jared Doomlin, you know Jared and his son William?
Yep.
APW. And he'll. Oh, man. All right. Jordan Gray wants to know who are your top 5 wrestlers in the WWE? This next one's going to be, it's tough for me to ask, Jared.
Oh, okay. So Jordan Gray asked top 5 wrestlers in WWE right now. I'd easily say Roman Reigns, Trick Williams, who Who else? Obafemi.
Yo, dude.
Yeah,
He's gonna be huge.
nutty, dude.
We just seen him in NXT a little bit.
Yeah,
he's gonna
dude,
be
he's
huge.
crazy. Jay, Jay Uso.
Yep.
And then number 5, let's just put Rhea Ripley in there.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
That's not a bad top 5. Yeah. There's a couple of them that'd be in my 5.
Oh hell yeah.
So, all right, let's pull up the big boy pants here.
What you doing,
all right,
man?
because this is just would be amazing. Elia and Manny. Now I could get behind that. Jared, you are looking for trouble. A heel turn on Kid V would be amazing. Elia and Mani. Now that I could get behind. Before I go any further, did I just read that Kid V is teaming with Elia? Elia is teaming with Kid V coming up at ABW. That's what I read.
Yeah. So reread that question.
A heel turn on Kid V.
Yes.
Would be amazing.
Would be amazing.
Elia and Mani.
Elia and Mani.
Now that I could get behind.
Oh,
like he
Elia
wants
and
that.
I teaming up together.
Yeah, that's what Jared wants. And give it V.
Give V the boot, man. You're nutty, dude. Listen, I'm gonna put it out here right now to the universe, bro. Neighborhood is new day. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like we're brotherhood, we're a bond.
I know that.
There's no heel turn in sight for either or. If the time comes, the time comes, but I don't ever see it happening anytime soon. And if I'm not teaming up with Kid V, I'm not gonna team up with anybody.
All right.
Because at the end of the day, tag team wrestling is on chemistry and bond. I don't think I'll be able to have another bond the way that I have a bond with Kid V.
Right.
So if I'm not in a team, and it ain't gonna be with nobody else.
All right. Okay. Victor Picanzo.
Okay.
Says, hi, Bonnie. Congratulations on your success. I've got 2 words for you. Si, senor. Have you ever heard of a spectacular masked wrestler called El Dorado?
El Dorado?
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's it's not Lindsay Dorado.
Well, this is El Dorado. It could be, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Victor, we're not sure, bud.
No, I'm not sure. If for some reason I would assume because Lucha is very like that. I wouldn't think El Dorado would be Lindsay, but maybe Lindsay is a descendant of El Dorado.
Right. Yeah,
so
that's a tough call.
I couldn't tell you. I'm my fault game.
All right. Brandon Belanger,
yes,
good
sir.
friend of both of us.
Yep.
I've interviewed you many times, and you're doing great. Keep up the great work. But I got to ask, how far do you want the Neighborhood Podcast to go? Brandon's a big podcast in the B13.
Yeah, check it out. He said, how far do we want the Neighborhood Podcast to go? I want it to go for as long as it needs to go.
Yeah.
We came
could
up
go
with
on
the idea.
forever.
Yeah, exactly. Because we came up with the idea as it to be another door or avenue for fans to be able to tap in with our lives, to feel that they're a part of the neighborhood, to really just know who we are. And I've always felt like my purpose in life is to inspire and reach people, and podcasting is just another way to do so on top of wrestling, on top of whatever else, so I think as long as it feels right, that's the Neighborhood Podcast is gonna go for a long time, and the plan is just to be able to help other people, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
That's really what it is.
Excellent. All right, that was great from Brandon. Kevin May wants to know, who is in your top 5 that you'd like to wrestle either in New England or the world?
Okay, cool.
Thank
Top
you,
5
Kevin.
to wrestle in New England or the world. Let's do Dijak in there. Let's put Hardy Boys in there. Let's put, who else do we got? There's so many people. BRG.
Yeah.
I would love to wrestle.
He was
BRG.
here last week?
Yeah, I've crossed locker rooms with him, been in the same locker rooms, but I've never had a match with him.
Oh, yeah.
So I would love to have a match with him.
I'd like to see that. I would.
I would love to have a singles match with BMT.
Oh, BS.
Yes. I really want to run that with him.
Yeah.
And then lastly, a one-on-one with Ricky Smokes.
Rick Smokes.
Yeah,
Impressive.
for sure. Because I would put Marcus Mathers in there, but I had that match already.
Oh,
so,
did you?
yeah,
All right. Yeah.
Last year,
That's
so.
cool. All right. So listen, a minute ago, though, you were saying like how the neighborhood's structured, like, you know what I mean? Whatever. So could that mean that we could see a third member to the neighborhood, or and then maybe the fourth? I'm just curious because the way you answered that, it was like it's open. It's the neighborhood.
100%.
So I mean, that's kind of cool.
And that's why we named it the neighborhood.
Right.
We didn't want to keep it in a name where it's selective to just to certain gimmicks.
Right.
We wanted it to be a opening type of name where it's like, I can't be in, but we have another person if we need to. They're part of the neighborhood.
Exactly.
So it's just like, I would love to turn the neighborhood into a faction.
Okay, bingo, right there. Hold on. Let's say you got to pick one, right? Someone that's an independent.
Okay.
And then you also, because he's not here right now, and he can play the same game when he's here in a couple months.
Yeah.
Who Kid V would pick to be like, you pick somebody and then pick someone that you think V would pick.
Okay. Honestly, I wouldn't, and it ain't no shot. I wouldn't want it to be another dude. I want there to be variety. I feel like what the neighborhood would be missing is a female type of energy. Just because Kid and I are already, we kind of hit so many different energies. He's very silly, I'm very serious. He could be serious, I could be silly.
Right.
I feel like a female presence will help, mix things up. So I think we've always joked around about it. I've said Shannon Levangie.
Yep.
I really see Shannon as a neighbor. So we've always joked around that with her too. So, Shannon, I know you on the shelf right now, but you want to come back type deal, just hit our line. There's always room in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
She's been out for a little bit too, right? I mean, like 6 months, maybe?
Nah, the whole year. She was out. She's been out for almost a year now. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I hope you heal up well.
Nah, yeah. So I know she's about to be coming back hopefully soon. So, I feel like Shannon would be that pick for me.
Yeah. All right, now you're gonna pick V's. Who do you think V would want? And remember, he's got to do the same deal. Same there, and pick your guy. So.
I ain't even trying to cheat, but I feel like he would agree with Shannon.
Yeah, all right,
I feel like he'd agree with Shannon.
All right, that's very cool. Thank you very much. I don't know. So who's knocking down the door for the Focus Pro? I gotta admit, I've never been to one of their shows. You've been on many of their shows.
You gotta pull up, man. You gotta pull up.
How long have you been working for those guys?
About a year now. Well, a little over a year now. Yeah. It's been a blessing. It's been a great opportunity, and I made the most of it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten to say it, so I'll say it here. But they didn't come to New England and start this company up and said, "Yeah, we want Mani Ariez as on our core roster."
Right.
You
were in that.
There was a scenario where they needed someone to step up.
Yeah.
We live by the motto, show up, show out. So that's what I did. I took the opportunity and I just kept going with it, trying to learn from all these amazing opportunities with matches that I've had. Like at Focus Pro, I've had most of my bucket list cut because of Focus Pro.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then we need to find who have you wrestled in Focus Pro?
I've wrestled Danny, Brad, Alec Price.
Whoa. The first one was who?
Danny Miles.
Danny Miles, okay. And then the second, Brad Baylor.
Brad Cashew.
Oh, Brad Cashew,
yes.
Yeah.
Alec Price.
Alec Price. Now, where did you wrestle Alec? At Focus Pro?
At Focus Pro, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was dope. I've also had, I've gotten to wrestle, I can't even, I've wrestled Kennedy Hardcastle there. That was cool. So I've gotten to wrestle like a lot of good names there. Sammy Diaz.
Nice.
He was another one that I was like, yeah, I want to work with this guy right here.
He's got a lot of belts right now.
Yeah, top 5 dead or alive, baby. So yeah, they got to help me with that a lot. And now Bufa going in on January 11th, that was huge. And then Leo Sparrow, I got to run a triple threat there with him. It's crazy. So I'm grateful for it because it wasn't someone, I did that. I pulled up, I'd made the most out of it. And I kept showing up. I kept showing up.
Strictly singles in Focus Pro.
Yeah, strictly singles in Focus Pro right now.
Okay.
And that's just been how it's been. You know, bringing next gen over there, bringing our next gen guys to help serve, and helping out, and it's just been like, it's been dope. It's been dope.
It's awesome. Very good. Well, you brought up Leo Sparrow. Now, is he a Creative Pro kid? Where's he from?
You don't quote me, but I believe he is a Creative Pro kid.
It wouldn't surprise me. They've been putting out guys left and right. I mean, seriously, they really have.
No,
But all right, let's play a little bit of the name game.
Yeah.
Tyree Taylor.
That's who I took this title off of.
Did you?
Yeah. I won the cash and carry contract, and we were running a little stick for a little bit. Made my life a little bit of hell, so I returned the favor, and I took the most precious thing that he could have had. You know,
there you go.
And I think that's another thing too. You know, he had a really good reign over a year-long reign, and you know that's impressive. But guess what?
Yeah, now your reign.
The guy that took the belt from the longest reigning champion.
There you go.
You know, so it's just it's special to do that.
Who's your next title defense against?
Pufa.
Okay.
Yeah. Desmond Cole, baby. That's gonna be good.
Wow.
I'm excited. That's gonna be real fire.
That's the first one right off the bat. Boom, here you go.
Yeah, dude. So Tyree Taylor, definitely. I want to do it fair though next time.
Yeah.
You know, he had a match with Desmond, and I got him at the end of the match.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you. That's how it goes sometimes.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I try not to do that, but he pushed me there. But I would love to run it up one-on-one, fair game.
Right.
All day, every day.
All right. How about our guy that just retired, Mike Montero?
Mike Montero. I heard about, we were supposed to actually wrestle him.
Oh, you never wrestle with Mike? Wow.
Nope. We were supposed to wrestle him, I think.
Wow.
I
figured he wrestled almost everybody around here.
Dude.
Honestly.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about him. So I would have loved to wrestle him.
Right.
For sure. But yeah.
All right. Well, you told me you wrestled with Marcus Mathis.
Yes, sir. Mr. WID himself, man. That was fun. It was big for me because on that I was just coming back from like my little back injury that I had.
Right.
So I wasn't even sure if I was going to be having that match.
Yeah.
And then that was the same night that I had won the belt. So with him, I learned a lot, and it was just fun because coming back, I was like, all right, that same test that I want to test myself with Dijak, right?
Right.
I was able to do that same test with Marcus.
Yeah.
Because he's already on their radar.
Right.
You know, so if I feel like
there's levels to this thing, and you know exactly.
Yeah.
No, you're right though. You're very good.
Yeah, so it's just like that was big for me too, and I wanted to prove to him that I was serious about this. There's a lot of guys that come into the game and they talk the talk but they don't walk the walk. And this year I told everybody I was gonna be walking the walk. You know what I'm saying?
Nice, awesome job. All right, next two guys, man, the hard work heroes.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Kademia and Barnaby Cone.
They're actually tag team Focus Pro champions.
Are they all right? Congratulations, guys. Good guys.
Yeah. That's something I've crossed paths with Barnaby very early in my career.
Yeah.
And I've never gotten to work with Aaron. So those are two guys that, as the neighborhood, I would preferably want to wrestle.
That's awesome. I'd like to see that too. All right. Well, the next two names is also a tag team. Trayvon Jordan, Jalen Brandon. That's how you say it? Brandon, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Jalen Brandon and Trayvon Jordan, waves and curls.
Yes, sir. All day. I mean, we like I said, we rocked with them already.
Yeah.
But again, we were much more newer and still trying to find our groove as a team when we did. I feel like they played a big part of us trying to find our groove.
Yeah.
But now that I feel the neighborhood has our groove, I think Neighborhood versus Waves and Curls Part 2 is something that if people saw the first match, they would want this match.
Yeah.
I want this match.
Right. And I'll tell you, those guys bring out energy. The minute the song and the minute they come through the curtain, they're like pumped up, going, at 10, ready to go.
For sure, yep.
And they're a hell of a tag team. All right, how about Diego Alvarez?
I need to, so me and him,
Papi Guapo?
Yeah, Papi Guapo.
Yeah, Papi Guapo.
I like to call him Papi Feo sometimes.
Oh!
Me and him, we've had technically 2 singles matches, but the first one never aired, I believe, for the Limitless Dojo.
Okay.
But the second one, we wrestled each other at Let's Wrestle, one-on-one, and that was fun. But again, it was just more of, that was me still figuring, like, what I knew then, even though it was like probably a year ago, to what I know now, and how I work now, I'm like, damn, we could do something else now.
Right.
You know,
right.
So he has a tag team with Lex.
Yeah.
I want
Lex
them.
Lozado, right?
Yeah, I want them against Neighborhood real bad. So as a team, we definitely need to do it, and I think we got to run again one-on-one.
Are they working WFA?
I believe so.
I'm thinking they're working there and somewhere else. Though.
Rebel Spirit, I
they
think.
might be working there.
Yeah.
They could, because I know Brandon Locke is definitely working.
Yeah. Brandon Locke's a champ there.
He's the heavyweight champ, man.
You know what?
He was here a bunch of weeks ago.
Yo,
He was
I want to put
great
Brandon
guy,
Locke on
man.
there. Yeah, Brandon Locke is actually a guy that I would love to wrestle with.
There you
100%.
go, man. Seriously, great
100%.
guy, though. I mean, he came on the show.
Yeah.
He was a great guest. You know what I mean? Posted it and said, hey, man, Leo's doing a good job. Watch the show.
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate that.
No, of
you know what I
course.
mean?
You have to do that.
I really
You
do.
have to.
All right, how about oh, man, this kid is really impressive. I bring him up the last couple of weeks because I've been talking about younger guys. He might be a little bit more of a little older than the real young guys. Mike Grassa.
Oh, yeah, man. Him and Kid got history.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kid, they ran a little program where he cut Kid's hair, and he was New England champion and got suspended for it.
Wow.
Yeah, so Mike Grasha, he also wrestles for Focus Pro as well.
Oh, does he?
Yep. So I definitely
you'll
think
definitely be
we'll
taking
cross
him
paths
on.
for sure. I want to wrestle Mike Grasha for sure too. He's definitely on that list, so I definitely would be down. You know, whether it's Neighborhood or just Mani Ariez.
Yeah.
You know,
No, the kid can work, and I mean, I love the mask. The whole
Yes,
the whole thing as he
deal.
comes out, man. It's a really good professional performance as he comes out.
he looks pro.
Yeah,
You know, he
dude.
don't look
No
backyard.
doubt, dude. I
Yeah,
say it
he's
almost
great,
every
dude.
time I bring him up because it's very impressive. You don't see that enough
Yep,
in
100%.
people's entrances.
Guys will try to do that, but
and,
then
I just think it comes naturally to the kid.
100%.
Or maybe he worked his ass off. I'll have to ask him
Yeah.
if I can ever get him in that seat.
big facts.
All right, how about Danny Miles?
Hell yeah. I've wrestled Danny at Focus Pro, but I would
Okay.
love to, again, that was probably roughly around a year from
Yep,
now.
yep.
I would love to run it up with him again, one-on-one, and just test myself. Because those are guys that, like, when I got into the business, I was already watching. Like, Danny was at my first Chaotic show. Danny was at the first Ring Crew show that I did for Chaotic. And there was something about Danny and how he carried himself that I've always like, oh wow, this guy is the guy.
Yeah,
you know?
Danny's the guy in the locker room that the promoter puts in with Matt Hardy because he's booked the night, right?
Exactly.
Because that's how good of a pro wrestler Danny Miles is. He can
Exactly.
wrestle anybody. man.
Exactly. So I definitely, the me then
Yeah.
ain't the me now.
Right.
So I wanna see the me now versus Danny Miles.
Okay. And there's another female, but I'm gonna lock in her boyfriend or her husband. Bronson. Both Bronson and Gabby Forza.
Yeah, Gabby Forza.
I haven't seen her, but she looks impressive.
Dude,
She really does.
I like to call her Genome. I call her Genome.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's her little gimmick there.
Yeah, Genome over there. She's pulled up at Focus Pro, so you know maybe
Nice. I'm gonna have to go, man. I really
you
am.
have to do. It's right there in Braintree.
Oh, nice. I like that bad.
Widowmaker Brewery. Every time it's such a good environment. But yeah, I would love to wrestle her. And honestly, you know, shoot, her and Bo could freaking come in the neighborhood, dude, all day,
Right,
bro.
right.
Both of them, man.
Oh yeah, man. He's a
bit,
dude. He's really good, man. His partner though, too, man. That would be a tough match for
would love that,
you guys,
honestly.
wouldn't it be?
I'd
Though
love
that'd
that.
be a good match. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that'd be
but
good.
man, that dude. When I first saw his partner, he went by the name of Beef Charlie or something like
Oh,
that. Big
okay.
Beef. Seriously, Charlie.
Wow.
And he had probably broken the business a decade ago.
Wow. Holy crap.
And when Bronson came in, he was probably at least wrestling 2 years, I think.
Holy shoot.
When they,
dude.
they got hooked
That's
up as
crazy.
a tag team.
Damn.
And I mean, it took him to the next level, though. You know what I mean? He got the, even though he was big, I don't think he may not have gotten there.
Yeah.
If he didn't join the team.
Right.
You don't know that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, big facts.
By himself, you don't know if he would have been able to make that move alone. I mean, look at Enzo, the real one, and Big Cass.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They were
100%.
thrown together. They were never best friends.
Yep.
I mean, and there's not a lot of best friends as tag teams like you guys.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. I never knew that about their tag team. I would I would love to work with them someday. Hell yeah.
Nice. All right, how about Lucas Chase?
Yes, Lucas Chase, another guy.
Kid's a good worker, man.
Yeah.
Good size guy, too.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
He looks the part.
Yeah.
He is the part. You know?
Right.
Like Lucas Chase is the real deal, man. Bro, come out there, carry himself well.
Yep.
You know, and he knows how to handle business. You know, and again, like when you're if you pull back the curtain a little bit and you're talking about, workers and guys that get it, you know, he's that, so
Nice.
I have a lot of respect for him. I've crossed paths with him in a bunch of locker rooms.
All right. How about another big guy, Rex Lawless?
Yeah, I've actually wrestled him too.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I've been so he was in that
guy,
dude.
man.
He was a triple threat. He was in the triple threat with me, Leo, and Brad.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the cash and carry contract, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is something else, dude. I was like, I saw him walk into that locker room, and I'm like, why aren't you on TV yet, sir?
Yeah, he's definitely TV size, man.
Bro, he's great though.
Big
He's
dude, right?
such a kind person too, man.
Right.
It's crazy.
He's a musician, I think. Too.
Is he really? I
Well,
did not
not
know
big
that.
time. I think they let him play the bass. What's his name? R.J. Rude. You know
Oh
him?
my goodness, no.
He's a wrestler, though, right down in Rhode Island. And they were on stage, and they let him come on and play the bass.
That's great.
You
dude.
know, I
That's
don't think
hilarious.
he didn't look like he was so skilled in it. He just had it on.
Yeah, just running
I
some
don't know. Hey,
strings.
for all I know, the guy can play the bass. Who knows? All right. Well, we brought him up earlier. I did, at least. Alec Price.
Yep. I would definitely want to run it again. He tested me. Alec Price really tested me. Walking away from my match with Alec Price, I wasn't happy with myself. And then it led to I tend to always do that, so I'm always my biggest critique. So I was like, all right, this part and this part, I got to get this up. You know what I'm saying? So like my biggest thing I felt for me was my conditioning. So I went crazy the next couple of weeks, just getting that conditioning up, getting the aspects of the back end halves of the matches and the more complex parts. He really tested me there, and I appreciate that so much because I feel like that made me a better wrestler.
He don't get out of breath, it seems. So it's like
It blows my mind, bro. It blows
to the
my
battery,
mind.
and you just took it out as he goes.
It's crazy
It's
how
so
he
good.
runs, dude. It's nutty, and it's honestly inspiring, because I want to be like that.
Should be,
you know?
exactly, definitely.
And it was great. Yeah. So Alec Price definitely want to run again for sure.
All right. This guy's doing really well, too. I love Doug. Never met Love Doug.
Love Doug is amazing.
Never met him,
Love Doug is amazing. He's one of the
great
guys.
performer.
One of the guys that like when I went through my little rut, like when I started at Netpor, I went away for like 3 months, and on those 3 months I was throwing myself a little pity party, and I reached out to Doug.
Yeah.
And he took time out of his day when I was just a fan to kind of like give me words of support and words of wisdom.
Okay.
And ever since then, that a message from him and a message from MSP were the two things that kept me going to get really back into this, John, and really take it serious. Yeah, so I love Doug. I would love to work him one-on-one. We've worked each other in a tag team on Chaotic, but other than that, one-on-one, I definitely want Love Doug.
Nice. All right, how about a veteran, Matt Tremont?
Yes. Yeah. Matt Tremont? Yeah, all day. He's with AEW now, right?
Yeah.
A couple of his peoples, wrestle with Top Rope or train over at Top Rope. And just what I've seen from him and his work, it's just like, okay, this is a guy that's gonna make me like earn it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like, as a wrestler, that's all I want to be. I want to work for it,
Right.
and he's another guy that I would look at, and if I ever get the opportunity to cross the ring with him, it would be a test to myself to see where I'm at as a performer, for sure.
All right. How about Ichiban?
Ichiban, yes.
Ichiban.
Cross paths with number one himself before. That was fun. Again, Ichiban and I, we cross paths, and that was maybe year one.
Yep.
You know, me then to me now, completely different. So
Right.
I would love to see what I can do now with Ichi. Ichi is like so. Even though the only word he knows how to say is one, he is so knowledgeable. Like he just says, he looks at you and says one, and then you immediately know what he's talking about.
There you
It's
go.
crazy, bro.
That is crazy. All right. How about I'll tell you right now. This girl, Christina Marie.
Christina Marie.
She's an independent girl from like Philly or something like that.
I have
No? Okay. How about that? Well, I know you know Isada. Isada? You don't know Isada?
No.
Wow.
I gotta see pictures.
Well, you know Shannon Levangie.
Of course, I know Shannon Levangie. Me and her never really, honestly. I don't think we've ever worked.
Really?
I would love to, you know, tie the boots up with her for sure. Maybe a mixed, or was that Kid? I think that was Kid. That wasn't me. But yeah, Shannon, she's definitely one that when I started, she was already training there.
Right.
So when I said to myself when I made shows, I wanted to work with everybody that was in my training class on the show.
Yeah.
And Shannon's one of the few in that class that I have yet to cross paths with.
Is Vegan Keegan in that class?
Yes.
I'd like to get him on the show
Yeah,
too.
man.
I really would. I got
Yeah.
no relationship with him. Talk to him
Yeah,
for me,
will,
would you?
will, for sure.
Seriously. I'd love it. How about Elle Valentine?
Elle Valentine, I have not worked her.
Really?
I have not. And she's been doing like great things, dude. She's
Big
like,
time.
she's taken her ball and she's been running with that, John.
Yeah.
And she's been making the most out of all the opportunities because again,
Yep.
females in the New England area, at least in pro wrestling out here, it's really hard. It's really hard for them to even get good spots.
Yep.
It's hard for them to have good opponents. It's hard for them to even just be looked at in not a certain category.
Right.
You know? And
Absolutely.
She separates herself completely. She brings a different vibe, a different energy, a
Yep.
different attitude that like makes you want to be like, damn. Okay. It's kind of like this Smash Mouth.
Oh,
type
yeah,
of style.
absolutely.
And I think she is one of the few that doesn't come from the big schools that's doing very well for herself.
Right.
And continues to do so. So I think me and her will probably cross paths one way, shape, or form.
Nice. She's really talented. How about Armani Chaos?
Yes, we did. They
This
played
kid,
a part.
right?
Yeah.
How-
First of all, he stole my name. You stole my name. You're the reason why I'm not Armani Ariez.
Oh,
Okay. I did that
look
for
at
you.
that.
I did that for you. You know.
He's talented.
I freaking love him, dude. We got to work with him, a part of our build to the
Yeah.
Chaotic titles, and
Another good guest.
he is just like. At first, when you're chopping it up with him, you're like, okay, and then like once you're in there with him, you're like, holy crap, like this kid just knows it. You know what I'm saying? And his charisma is just unmatched. It's natural. You know, it just naturally comes to him. He's such a good heel that like you love to hate him.
Right.
You know, and he definitely gets it. And I think eventually he's made such a crazy ass transformation as well.
Right.
Like when I started, he was chubbier.
Okay.
You know, and now when you look at him now, bro got a 6-pack, bro,
There you
looking
go.
like a hunk, dude. A hunk, bro.
Yep.
And I'm like, good
See
for
that?
you, man.
Yeah,
and
that is good.
It makes me so happy. So like me and him have crossed paths on tag team multiple times.
Yep.
I would love to run one for sure.
Okay, great. How about Seabass Finn?
Okay, cool, yeah. Seabass, crossed paths a few times. Rad Pro, Chaotic. Again, he was in that class of guys that I got to start training with.
Yeah.
So one-on-one, we've never had that. But we have crossed paths and tag team scenarios for sure. So it was just like, again, with him, I'm excited because he studies a whole different style and he brings a whole different style that like shouldn't like that like the audience, the American audience, like he's very Japanist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He really loves, he studies, I feel like his style is more of that.
Right.
And he can execute that so well while mixing the now, you know, and it just makes sense. And he's jumped into it to like the fishing gimmick and all that stuff. And it's just he's made the most out of all the opportunities. And honestly, is like one of the guys I respect the most.
Nice, because I saw him at a Beyond show, and I loved the gimmick.
Great,
I thought it was awesome.
He's great.
How about we go back to a tag team, the Shook Crew?
The Shook Crew.
Bobby Orlando and Bryce Donovan.
Yes. Again, Bryce Donovan being WWE ID'd. I feel like in a tag team scenario, that would be a good test for Kid and I to see, can we hang with guys that are on that level or on the radar of those people. So hands down, definitely that would be a great tag team match. And I can't believe I totally blanked on those teams.
That's all right. I mean, you can't remember them all, man.
Yeah,
me and Dave Forty did a show talking about tag teams. We know every tag team. We literally, the show got over, I went, "Right, this. It was, and I mean, come on, people would laugh.
Yeah, dude.
How did you forget? Because you're trying to get 100 of them, you know? All right. How about Ryan Frost?
Ryan Frost.
Test of strength guy.
Okay.
Big guy. No
Not heard of
Frosty.
him.
All right, but Lex Lozado.
Lex Lozado, yes. I would love to work him one-on-one tag team. I think it'll happen. He's come a long way too. He's kind of in that same group of what Ellie when they kind of came up in that you know, that kind of crew of guys that aren't part of like the well-known schools, and he's been on there and doing the most of it. Dude, he got extra work. You know what I'm saying? So like you're doing something right. You look the part, dude. Just keep doing what he's doing, man. And I think Lex is just gonna have big things in his future, bro, for sure. So
absolutely. All right, how about T.J. Crawford?
Yes.
Did you run across TJ? Who's
Is
he ID'd?
No.
That's nuts.
I know.
That is absolutely nuts that he's not ID'd.
I've never crossed paths with him one-on-one.
Yep.
Again, but cross paths with him tag team.
Okay.
So he's another guy that I love to like kind of, I'll like when I'm at shows, when I was at Chaotic and we would come up with tag spots or whatever, he'd be one of the guys that I'd run some of the ideas by and see if it made sense.
Right.
And he's always just been good to me. So I would love to run it with him.
He has bag of matches with everyone. Everyone. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you got, the Miracle Generation, Dustin Waller and Kylon King. Hell of a team.
Yep, 100%. I think Neighborhood Miracle Gen will happen this year. I'm all for it.
They said like you though, you want to make that next step. They've been doing a little bit here and there and stuff. You know, it's really good. And I'm sure you will too.
Yeah, exactly. We started it this year, you know, and the Monster Factory was the first step, and just taking it step by step from there, you know.
Dude, do you have any shows you want to plug or anything?
The Neighborhood Pod, you can find us on Spotify, Apple, all that good jazz. Next Gen Pro Wrestling Center, if you're in the New Hampshire area, Auburn, New Hampshire. I and my teammate Kid V are assistant trainers, trained by head trainer Bud Browning. And then Focus Pro, look out for Focus Pro Wrestling. Anywhere on social media, they stream on IWTV, Rad Pro Wrestling, Atlantic Pro Wrestling, Chaotic Pro Wrestling. Show love to all those promotions, please. Thank you.
No doubt. So did you wrestle on a Rad Pro show?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. A few Rad Pro shows.
I need that they start this out.
I love that. I love it. It's such a unique, different approach.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good challenge that every young wrestler should definitely try.
They got a whole family in there now.
Come on, man. The Brady Bunch.
6 kids, man.
Fantastic Voyage, you know. They got a plant, you know, running around.
It's
doing
unbelievable. Thanks, man. Guys, we're out. Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe, that's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.